They say walk in your truth and not in your shadows. They also tell you you're too much, making you feel like a burden, but they always want you to speak up for what isn't spoken. Unspoken truth, hiding behind an unspoken poet, unspoken stories, never get told by unspoken words. Yo, what's good? It's your girl, Becky the Poet here. Welcome to the Unspoken Words podcast. We're at episode 103. Y'all, we just had Bianca Phipps on the previous episode. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope you were using your time wisely in learning how to spend it. That's what last week's episode was about. All right, you guys. Today we have a poet here, Dallas. You know what? She's part of the Dallas Poetry Slam team. On her Instagram, if you follow her, she has some sensual, sexual poems. I've never seen so much sensual, sexual poems in my life. But go ahead, introduce yourself, guest.
What's up, y'all? Thank you, Becky, for having me. My name is C.R.U.S.H. Like Becky said, I am a Dallas Poetry Slam team member. Currently ranked 15th nationally in the women's poetry scene. And going for a higher ranking actually next month in the Women of the World Poetry Slam. So I am an all-around poet. I do sexual poems because sex sells and I like sex. However, I have a lot of really broad content. So I guess we'll get into all that kind of stuff during the interview. But thank you again for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll go ahead and have you go ahead and share a little piece for us. For my listeners, tune in. Go ahead.
All right. Get ready to clutch your pearls. This piece is called Goddess. I haven't taken a full breath in 20 minutes. Only gasps for air in between shifting of thighs. And at this point, I'm fully willing to drown in it, willing to die doing what I love. I started counting the seconds until I entered the heaven you created. My God, God is she, God is goddess. Melanin woman with firework eyes, child of Oshun, river goddess. Water so sweet, so plentiful, and I promise I stay thirsty. Your flood rushes through my veins. The point of climax when she pushes her pleasure out and I push my taste buds in further. This is my favorite part. How your insides grip my tongue as if to say she'll never let me go. Hand slips between my own thighs as I continue to bury myself in yours. The simultaneous combustion of self-pleasure and servitude is met. I am drowning in our efforts to indulge in everything we've been missing. I plan to suck until your spirit fills my soul. And as if you knew I was on my last breath, you interlace your fingertips into my crown, pull me up by the root of my curls and whisper, I want to feel you. You smell of natural herbs, sweet oils, and wet dreams. And I am living, drowning, barely breathing proof that dreams do come true. First me on top and then you. Our sacral chakras combined. I look up and see us completely aligned from your crown to mine. There is a goddess atop my pelvic throne and I have never seen anything more perfect. I honestly cannot describe the ascension I feel when gazing upon your godliness. I bring myself back to the moment. Remember what I am here for. You, all power, strength, and control in the daylight like to be dominated in the black of night. My left palm on your spine, I push your submission towards me. My right hand up, cupped like a goblet filled with ecstasy. Drink and prepare yourself for the ride. I mean, you know what this cup is really for. My palm, the perfect place of restraint. My fingers secure fetish around your throat. You grab my hand, but make no attempt to loosen my grip. I now control your breathing. So fuck me like your life depends on it. Ride me until your river pours into my ocean and we are both so deep we forget what air tastes like. When I flip you over, I anchor myself in you and go deep. Now reach back. Let me feel you dig in. There's a reason I like your nails sharp. Make me feel how pain is pleasure, leaving scratches on my skin in the form of constellation, each orgasm shooting to the next star. And all I can hear is you. No music in the background, nothing to take away from the sultry sounds of this session. We're creating our own soundtrack. Vinyl crackling of rose and vanilla scented wax, barely audible under sounds of grip sheets and body heat. Body rhythm bass line and high notes set us off enough times for an LP. Sing to me, baby. And I promise I'll rock you to sleep.
Wow. That poem was very, 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 very rated M for mature. I thought it was like, at one point, it's like, when you're thinking the poem is going to end, and then you kept going, and I was like, was not expecting that. Woo! Hope you guys enjoyed that. We have Crush here. If you haven't been to any of Dallas poetry events or just any of Crush's events, you're missing out on things like that, but she also has more. So for today, before we get started anything, how are you feeling today, this month, this week, this year? How are you feeling today? And I didn't explain to you, but I'm looking at a separate camera, so don't worry, just keep looking at me and I'm just gonna
Cool. I was like, is she reading? I don't know.
No. I'm looking at a separate camera. I forgot to explain that to you, but yeah, that's what's going on.
You mentioned it. I'm feeling great, actually. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling excited about my journey and what's to come in the near future. I'm feeling really good. How about you?
I'm feeling good myself. Honestly, you mentioned growth. Just about like what's been on your mind lately is just growth. So before we get into that will be the topic for today, is just growth. I will say this. I will say that today I woke up feeling not the greatest, just because nothing's going on. Just because you just kind of hit that plateau in life. But I think talking to you and just my previous guests and the next one, I am excited for everything that's coming for this month. As you guys know, this is a pre-recorded episode. This is actual release for April, for National Poetry Month, you guys. Support these poets. Make sure you, buy their products, donate to them, because poets do need to make a living, and they are doing this to make a living. And some of them are just full-time poets without these college tours and all these above. Support poets for National Poetry Month. Before we get deeper into this episode, I want to go ahead and have you say a positive affirmation. I'll let you think about it for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and give mine. My positive affirmation for this week is I'm worthy of all things that are coming my way. That's not worded exactly, but it's just how I feel for this week. So what is your positive affirmation for this week?
Similar to that, but I will say I am deserving and open to all of my manifestations that are coming to fruition.
Nice. I really like that a lot. It takes mine out the way.
I had time to think.
Yeah. For today's topic, Crush mentioned growth on our private, just talking to her one-on-one before this recording. And I want to say growth is a big ordeal nowadays. I feel like we've had time to evaluate ourselves last year, time to just rest and time to get to work too. So I know you're a poet, right? Are you a full-time poet?
That's a kind of a trick question, because yes, but I also have a 9-to-5, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I say that because poetry is not my only form of income. However, it is a full-time job for me. I put more time and effort into it than actually goes into my 9-to-5.
Right.
So, double-edged answer, I guess.
So I know during this Pangea, you have been posting a lot more content on social media, whether it's your personal page, whether it's the Dallas Poetry Slam Team page, You're doing a lot of virtual events, and I think you're starting to get into more events. I keep seeing your face on different flyers. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's been pretty consistent. People are still able to do events. I started doing some virtual events when the pandemic first started.
Right.
I got burned out on virtual events very quickly. It's not the same at all. But I understand the need for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I have been doing a lot more in person. I've been lucky to be connected with people that have been able to have socially distanced in-person events.
So I know you're in Dallas, and I haven't attended any Dallas open mics or poetry events. Update me to what's going on in the Dallas scene in the poetry world.
So Dallas Poetry Slam, as an organization, we have poetry slams and open mics every Friday. So first and third Fridays, we compete for money, and any poets are welcome to come and join into the slam. We just had one last night. But every Friday we have open mics at Heroes Lounge at 8 p.m. Coming up in National Poetry Month, Dallas Poetry Slam CEO is also putting together I don't know how to say it. She's not hosting, but she's literally put the event together, the International Poetry Slam. And
she's the event coordinator for the International Poetry Slam.
Thank you, words. Yes. So the International Poetry Slam and the Women of the World Poetry Slam, we will be competing in both national competitions within the same week.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna be hella tired, but it's gonna be exciting. So you can definitely follow my page for updates for that too.
So within right now in this world, how have you grown in your poetry career, I guess I would say, while everybody has time to like rest inside? What have you been doing inside for you to prepare for outside?
I have had a lot of time to think about branding and kind of carving my path. So, Dallas Poetry Slam and slam poetry is a very big part of my current life and poetry career.
Yeah.
It's what got me started in the first place. It is what grew me into an actual poet. And but I have had a lot of time to think about branding and being able to grow my personal brand as opposed to just being a part of that organization. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you're recently updated your website and you're selling more merch products pertaining just to Crush, you as the poet. Tell us more about that and how that's going.
It's going very well. Most of the, actually all of the shirts that I sell are kind of taglines or ideals pulled from my poems. So I have a shirt that says "Sexuality is fluid, swallow it." That's from one of my poems about just about gender fluidity and sexual fluidity and sex positivity and that type of thing. That is a copywritten quote, so nobody try to take it. I have a shirt that's they're gonna be able to see this?
Yeah, so it's gonna be posted on YouTube.
So I'll show you guys the shirts. So this is the "Sexuality is Fluid, Swallow It" shirt. These come in black and white. I also have hoodie. Actually, I'm almost sold out of the hoodies, but it's about to get warm anyways. But I have these in black and white.
Actually, you live in Texas, so yeah, it's gonna get warm, but you never know. Winter storm could be coming anytime now.
That's true. Texas is real. Like, I'll be 1 degree today and 80 tomorrow. This is another one of the shirts that I have, More Than Enough. This comes from one of my self-love poems. I created it for a self-love event that I was performing at. And it's just one of the lines that I repeat more than once in there. Just a reminder to self, you know what I mean? A lot of people buy this because it's a reminder that we need a lot.
Right.
Like, I'm more than enough, no matter what's happening outside of me, so on and so forth. This is actually one of my favorite shirts. It says "breathe," but it's upside down.
Okay, I was like, the cameras, something happened, but I get it now. I get it.
So it's intended for you to wear it, and every time you look down, you read it as breathe. It's a reminder to stop whatever you're doing, whatever you're stressing about, whatever's happening. Just take a deep breath, because taking a deep breath immediately calms your energy system, and has a big effect on your mental as well. So we forget to just stop and breathe because it's automatic, but we really need to be taking deep breaths. What else? I'll just show you a couple more things. I have a ton of stuff, but this is the erotic chat book. It's 60 pages full of the type of thing that you just heard at the beginning of this episode. It comes in this cute little velvet bag, and it's called Touch Me. It's hand sized.
She did it on purpose. Oh wait, the audio. Okay, it's all good. I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay. Somebody called me. I forgot to go on Do Not Disturb.
It's okay.
This is what I call a pocket pussy right here. Sorry if you need to bleep that. But...
Nope. Okay. I'm not bleeping anything.
This is what so it's very soft in nature. But this is a bestseller. I'll just say that. I have another chat book that's full of regular poems, the non-nasty kind. And
so where do you categorize yourself? Do you like erotic more than you like the politics types of poems, and not even politics, just the other set of categories of poems, or would you consider yourself more erotic?
Well, I guess I'm in the middle, but and I guess it would be only fair to give the viewers another type of poem before the episode is over. But I did not start out writing erotica. I started out writing, regular real life poetry, but I don't even know why. Probably I think there was an erotic night or something, or I was performing at some lesbian event.
Yeah.
And that's what they like. So it started to grow. It just started to become a thing. I would perform erotica every once in a while, and it became a demand almost from my audience. So, I don't have a problem with it. I like it, but I don't consider I don't want to be only categorized as an erotic poet. I have a very broad arena of topics. So
when it comes down to 2021 crush as a poet, when did you first start writing poetry, and do you see the growth between then and now?
Yeah, it's really a crazy story. I did not start writing poetry seriously until about 2.5 years ago.
Right.
Outside of journaling my feelings when I was younger, I didn't even know that poetry was a thing that people did on a regular basis or in a competitive nature or any of that until about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Right.
When I stumbled upon Dallas Poetry Slam. Didn't have any intentions of writing. I just connected, and I loved the feeling of watching the poets on stage.
Yeah.
Eventually I went through some things, of course, we write a lot of times out of pain or struggle or whatever. And I decided I wanted to share one day, and the energy that I felt from the audience the first time I shared was immense. I was up there shaking with a book, but it was, it was crazy. So I started taking poetry workshops. I tried out for the Dallas Poetry Slam about 6 months later, and under Candy's wing. Candy is the CEO of Dallas Poetry Slam. She's the coach of the team. And the Dallas Poetry Slam team itself, I learned so much so fast, and I catapulted. It's a very uncanny story, I think. When I hear other people reacting to it,
right.
I went from not writing poetry at all to 15th in the nation within 1 year.
That's a big jump. That's
right?
actually a leap, not even a jump.
It's it's unbelievable for myself, but it's what made me know I discovered a passion and a purpose really that I didn't even know existed. And I think that's why it catapulted so quickly.
So for all who don't know, how is this ranking ranked for poets? Is it thousands of people? Like, who ranks it, and how could you even get on the rank?
So in these international slam competitions, they're usually held in whatever city. You know, this year it's in Dallas, but it's a tournament. Basically, it's a tournament. Normally there's not thousands. Normally thousands of people don't fly in. There's normally about somewhere closer to 100 poets that fly in and compete in tournaments. So we have bouts, basically preliminaries. There are judges that are chosen to score every poet after each piece, and the scores are tallied. And it's just tournament style, like just like a basketball tournament.
Right.
You weed them out, and you go up and up and up in ranks, and then you get to final stage if you make it there, and you get ranked again, and that's how you get your final ranking. So,
well, I applaud you for making 15th in the nation.
Thank you.
What's your next goal? Are you gonna go in the top 10 now? What's up?
I'm going for top 5 this year.
Oh, top 5.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Going for top 5.
Wait, that's coming up then. So that means you have a lot to prepare for then, right?
I've been preparing for, an entire year. So it's ongoing. It's, there's an off season in which we put in a lot of work that people don't really realize that goes into it. It's really like a sport, the way that basketball players practice in the off season.
Right.
But yeah, it's coming up April 6th through the 10th.
So, as you get closer and closer to International Poetry Slam, is that correct?
Yes.
How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you feeling confident? Do you feel as though maybe you need to work hard? Like, how when it comes down to getting closer and closer to competition, how does your anxiety level stand? Where does it stand? How?
It goes up and down. Definitely goes up and down. I do feel confident in the pieces that I have for my individual competition, as well as the pieces that my team has for the separate competition. But there's always nerves. I feel like if you're not nervous, you just don't care about it as much, right? Like, I just don't think that as confident as you can be, I don't think that you can get on stage with 0 nerves. Could just be me, but that's how I feel about it. So there's both of that. Confidence and nerves is definitely there, but it's exciting.
So I really want you to give some 3 advice for people who are like, let's say, because you started from not being a poet to being a poet to being nationally ranked poet. What's advice for someone who is, I guess, starting off in the poetry world and want to be where you are now? Like, they want that ranking to give them that is it affirmation? No, the what's the word? Like, you need some, you need that something to let them know that you are like the dopest shit. Like, what's it called? Simone, words. You need that.
No.
Confirmation. You need that confirmation that you're a dope ass poet and getting that ranking. So how can someone who's not that, I'm not gonna even say not that dope, how can someone who's just starting off writing poetry get to your level now? 3 things.
Okay, first thing would be to be an open book. Don't go into it thinking that you know everything. You have to be completely open to learning and applying your knowledge. Second thing peels right off of that is you have to submerge yourself into spaces that allow you to do so. So you can't expect to grow if you're sitting in the house not finding people to soak up information from, right?
Right.
And even if you are doing it online, you have to connect with someone that is on a different level than you, on a higher level than you, that you aspire to be like, or that you just see that they are well-versed in the area that you want to be in. That's the second thing. Find a mentor or a coach or somebody that will help you grow. And the third thing is be ready to work.
I like that. Those are some great tips, honestly, because I don't think people actually really know what it takes to be, to have being a poet as your career or even part of your career. It's not just writing words and just hopping up to the open mics. I feel like learning from listening to audiobooks about comedians and stuff, they actually just go to open mics to practice their pieces. It's all about these big events that are coming up, you know, for say coming up in Dallas, for example. I actually won't have you do a second piece because I'm driving them to you. So they need to come to you if they want that. So where can people donate, buy your merch, buy your products, see your next event coming up in April?
So first things first, follow me on Instagram at crush_your_poet. That's pretty much where you can find everything. My website is in the link in my bio, which is where you can buy any kind of merch that you want to buy. If you feel so inclined to donate to me, you can do so on Cash App at $crave my designs. Designs is with a Z on the end instead of an S. And follow Dallas Poetry Slam as well, so you can see. I mean, I post all the time, but again, we're at Heroes every Friday night at 8 p.m. performing. The national poetry competitions, you can buy tickets at worldslam.org.
Sounds good. I do have a surprise for you guys who are listening. In April, Unspoken Words will throw an outdoor poetry event. I'm not going to tell you where. I'm not going to tell you who is going to be in the lineup. But I will give you a hint. And that was the hint. That was all you got. Because if you're watching this, you would catch it. But I like to end this episode on a positive note. So you can tell me a joke. Not me. You can tell the listeners a joke. You can give us a positive quote or anything funny, happy, not sad, funny or happy or positive. So I'll give it to you.
Okay, I think I'll just end with my motto. The motto for my brand is do everything with love. So I have had a lot of growth happening in the last couple of years, and I have just I guess I don't know the word for what I'm trying to say, but honed in on do everything with love, no matter what it is. Judgment goes out of the window. Be open to people, be open to things, because you never know what can affect you in a positive way. So that's it. We need more love, man.
I love that quote. To finish off, you guys, make sure you follow Crush, check her out, support her. It's National Poetry Month. If you want to support a poet, we have a poet right here for you. We have a poet last episode. We'll have a poet next episode for you. So support poets. We need love too. You guys, if you want Crush back on the show, just let her know. Hey, you need to get back with Becky the poet. But it's okay. I'll bring her on season 12. All right, you guys. That's it for today. Have a good week, good month, good year. Keep grinding. We out.